Media Preview 2016. I'm sorry for keep you waiting. We wanted everyone to be here, to be ready for this very, very, very special media preview for, as you know, Singapore Toy Game and Comic Convention 2016, organized by Reed Exhibitions. So this year, as you know, we mark 9th year edition for STGCC, and we are very excited to introduce you the details about this year's event. And honestly, this year is much better, much greater, much more fun, and much more excitement. So are you all ready? Yeah, very quiet, but I'm sure you're ready. Okay, so for a better person to bring you through this year's highlights, there is no other person than Reed Exhibitions Assistant Project Director, Ms. Lynn Ko. So shall we give a round of applause to welcome Ms. Ko on the stage.
Hi everybody, good morning. Thank you for being here with us. Friends from the media, we've got our sponsors, our guests when we'll be meeting shortly, and our local artists. I remember last year same time when I met all of you, I said that it was a record-breaking year for us. And I'm very, very pleased to say that this year is a record-breaking year for us again. Over the weekend, we'll be expecting more than 260 participating companies that will be launching close to 200 exclusive products and new launches. Misa will be sharing some of the highlights with you in further details later, but I just want to zoom into two things that I think we're going to be looking out for. For the first time this year, STGCC will be organizing a gaming competition. We've got two sponsors on board, Mountain Dew and Blizzard. So we'll be have 16 teams battling out on Saturday and Sunday for Overwatch, STGCC, Esports, Mountain Dew Cup. So look out for that. There's a lot of entertainment. It's going to be like a big party over the next, on the 10th and 11th on Saturday and Sunday, where we have quite a number of Japanese idols who will be performing on the Akiba Pop stage, as well as DJ nights. We've got 45 personalities with us this year, signing, meeting their fans. So really just come and join us for the party. And I want to say that this would not have been possible without the support of all of you guys. So really, thank you very much. Join us over the weekend, just relax, have fun, and yes, we'll make it happen. So I'll hand on over to Misa. She will take you through in specific what's going to be happening over the weekend so that, in further detail. So over to you, Misa. So just sit back and relax. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Linko. Thank you. Alright, so, okay, I just remembered I didn't mention my name, so I'm sorry. My name is Misa, and I'll be hosting for this media preview, and I'll be there for the stage for the 2 days this weekend, so I'll be there. Alright, thank you very much, Lynn, for this welcome speech. And as she highlighted a lot of things that is going on this year, okay, as a Marvel and DC fan, I am very, very excited to see all the Western talents and artists who will be here. And I myself is Japanese, maybe I don't look like one, but I'm Japanese, and I'm very excited to have a lot of Japanese anime segments, as well as all those idol groups that will be here in Singapore. And I am sure the fans are even more excited about that. Alright, so further, I'll have this screen to highlight more of the stuff, so it's easier for you to understand. Okay, for the first, I would like to go through the event overview. As you know, STGCC 2016 will be held this weekend on 10th and 11th, Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And the venue this year will be Marina Bay Sands Expo and Convention Center. It will be at level B2. This year, it's going to be at level B2 at Hall E and F, which is the biggest hall. Okay, biggest hall. It's going to be big and better than last year. Okay, I think Ms. Lin had mentioned this year we are actually expecting 45,000 guests coming in. 45,000 guests coming in for this 2 days. It's crazy, it's massive, it's insane, but I'm really, really excited about that. Alright, so we also have some ticket categories. Of course, the normal 1 day, 2 day pass. Adding to that, we have a Safra family pack This is exclusive to Suffer members, and this year STGCC is encouraging more families, more kids, with a dad and mom. There will be more fun to attend this event. So we have pop culture personalities. Last year we had 29 guests. 29 guests is not bad, but this year we're expecting 43 guests. That is a double from last year. And we will also have 63 new exhibitors like DC Comics Superheroes Cafe with a DC character themed cafe and Disney Tsum Tsum, which we all love. Okay, next slide please. So, what is STGCC? Well, you might all know, but some of you may be new to this, so let me just explain. STGCC is, next slide please. Alright, so STGCC is a Singapore Toy Game and Comic Convention. Okay, I needed 1 year to get used to saying this. Okay, Singapore Toy Game and Comic Convention. And this is a mix of pop culture from the east to the west. So literally from the world. Right? So this year marks our 9th year, and this event celebrates a unison of toys, games, comics, anime, and collectibles with non-stop stage entertainment. So I am very excited and I cannot wait for all this. So STGCC is organized by Repop, as mentioned. Okay, who is Repop? Okay, Repop is our organizer for STGCC, and they started back up in 2006. From the very first New York Comic Con to launching and acquiring the coolest events all over the world. As you can see, here's the list that they have, the events that they have done. Okay, so now I introduced about STGCC, about Repop. Now let's go to the event highlights for 2016. Alright, event highlights. For this year, we have Overwatch STGCC Esports Mountain Dew Cup. This is the very, very first gaming competition that STGCC is proud to organize. And this Overwatch STGCC Esports Mountain Dew Cup with the massively popular game Overwatch. So players from the team will be stand a chance to win attractive prizes if they win, which is sponsored by Secret Life and Razer. And in the middle, not to forget, Japanese, yes, Akiba Pop Stage, the best pop artist from Akihabara, the place where all the otaku are in Japan. Okay, we will be also congregate our Akiba Pop Stage and group to the iconic tunes from famous Akiba Pop idols and party away with a loving DJ beat. And the next one is Team Captain Best Sketch Wall Auction. So STGCC is also giving back the society with the Team Cap Best Sketch Wall Auction, which was completed by the band of Googlers at the Marvel's Captain America Civil War Festival happened this April. Was anyone there? Was anyone there? Okay, I see some hands up. Okay, so proceeds of this auction will go towards granting the wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions at Make-A-Wish Foundation. Okay, so we are in the society as well. And the next slide, please. So this year we also have STGCC Championship of Cosplay. Well, we had this last year as well, so this is the second year. This Championships of Cosplay invites all cosplay enthusiasts to dress up as their favorite characters, and they are going to stand a chance to represent Singapore in Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo happening next year in 2017, and get the chance to compete against other top cosplayers from each region. So this time they're going to compete within Singapore. If they win, they can go to this massive event. How great is that? Okay, in the middle, okay, who is a fan of Bear Brick? I'm sure many of you are collecting it. There's a Bear Brick showcase. Hot Toys will reveal a special mystery collaboration. So this mystery hasn't been revealed yet, so you get to know. Well, Medical Toys exclusively will be collaborating at STGCC 2016, and it's very limited quantities available for pre-order. So stay tuned for the Bear Brick fans. And at the right, there's a Walk of Fame. So you get a chance to get your covered autograph from your favorite comic artists, which they came all the way to Singapore, and toy designers as well to this Walk of Fame. So this is something new this year. Actually, the celebrity cosplayers, they will have their own booth with their merchandise. And if you get to buy the merchandise, actually you can go to this Walk on Fame to get the autograph for their merchandise. So it's a very smooth, thing that the fans can get to grab the autograph of the very, very favorite cosplayers. Okay, right. Next is the merchandise. Right. I hope you all can see on the back. Okay, STGCC launches our first lineup of merchandise. This is our first lineup. Some in collaboration with our guests like John Paul Kaiser, JPK, the Captain Jackson Tigris Pit here, and Jacob Shebok from the Tsum Tsum comic variant. That is very cute. And Bruce Allen on the exclusive STGCC art prints. There's some cool t-shirts, all the stuff, so please stay tuned to get this as well. Okay, and we have the floor plan for STGCC 2016. As I mentioned, it's bigger, it's greater, so I hope no one will get lost. I hope everyone gets the map and get to see everything that they wanted. And we have participating brands. We are very pleased to see participation of many different major brands such as Marvel, DC, Square Enix, Disney, and many more. Alright. Wow, this STGCC 16 is crazy, Alright, the exclusive and new products we have. Okay, we also have a huge array of exclusive new products lined up for this event. Get this finely crafted toy from Mame Moyashi and XM Studios. Can you see this tuna? It's so cute. It's a bit scary, but it's cute at the same time. And there's also an interesting comics by Darren Chan and Full Mountain Comics. So there are also other exclusive kids-friendly merchandise around, something like stickers and art cards. So make sure you can bring your families together. So every year we have a ton of hot toys fans looking forward to the exclusive launches at STGCC. And this year we have this lineup of 6 hot toys exclusives. And if you haven't checked them out, they're actually showcased over here at the media preview to your right over there. So you can see some very popular characters like Rey from Star Wars, Nightmare Batman, and Iron Man, so on and so on. Alright, so these are the basic event highlights. And we have a lot of guests and personalities that will be talking. And I would like to happily introduce you the 4 very established artists here at the media preview today, which will be showcasing and having a panel discussion later on. So firstly, this is Emma Rios, a very lovely lady. She has worked for both studios and Marvel for Doctor Strange and Amazing Spider-Man. So she turned to creator-owned production in 2013 thanks to Image Comics and has just published ID, which is her first solo graphic novel. So Emma currently co-edits The Island magazine with Brandon Graham and is the co-creator of Pretty Deadly, Kelly Sue, The Comic, and Mirror with Hui Lin. Hui Lin is also our guest, so let me introduce Hui Lin. So Hui Lin is a comic book artist from Malaysia, our neighbor, and known for her soft, elegant brushwork and dynamic colors. So Hui also draws illustrations for children and young adults, such as Spirit of the Sea and Dragon Hearted. Her collaboration with Emma Rios, Mirror, will hold its global launch exclusively at STGCC 2016. Can't wait. And next, our man, John Paul Kaiser, is the only toy maker here among the 4, specializes in character design and painting with the art toy scene. So referencing pop culture and art in a figurative form. Recently, he made the transition from pop culture to historical culture, exploring the themes of craft and class, developing figures that describe the skills of working craftsmen and women that were once central to communities but have largely been lost today. So there's a lot of meaning. Actually, there's some work that you can see at the back from JBK as well. Okay, and last but not least, Nick Spencer. The Eisner Award-nominated comic book writer, Nick is known for his creator-owned titles at Image Comics, such as Morning Glories, Eve of Thieves, Batwoman, and his work at DC Comics, Action Comics, Thunder Agents, and for his current work at Marvel Comics, which is Secret Avengers, Scary Foes of Spider-Man, and Avengers World, and Ant-Man. So Nick is the mastermind of Captain America, being a Hydra agent story. Right, so wow, all the blockbuster movies which he has drawn in the comics. So these are the very, very important 4 guests that we have here today for this media preview. So let's stay tuned and we'll be seeing them later. So I would like to introduce you for other guests who will be at STGCC this year. So we have attracted an extensive list of guests, and we have secured many critically acclaimed and well-liked pop cultural celebrities, many of them making their first trip to Singapore. So for comic, manga, and art guests, we have personalities like the famed Phil Noto, Tom Taylor, Evergreen, Haruhiko Mikimoto, and Stephanie Hans. Actually, there are quite a lot of legendary artists as well. And famous toy makers like Simone Legno, Sticky Monster Lab, and Shoko Nakazawa. I cannot wait to see the cute toys. And they are also making their appearance. So there will be also cosplayers, we cannot forget that. The very celebrity cosplayers such as Hage, Goka, and King, they came all over the world. So as mentioned earlier, there will be entertainment guests from Akiba Pop idols like Guild Stars, Nomiko, and Rose of Alice, which they will entertain all the fans and gonna make them crazy at the entertainment stage. So we have creator guests such as Esupa, Ryu, and Masayoshi Minoshima, which they will be getting the crowd moving with their DJ techniques. And last but not least, we also have some guest panelists, which are the local fans and the talents. We should not forget them. We should encourage our local talents to grow more, and become a star in the world. Alright, so this is the end for my presentation for the event highlights. I'm sure and I hope that you get the idea for, there was a lot of information, but don't worry, you're gonna get it, you're gonna see it at the STGCC. Alright, so this year, as I mentioned, we are highlighting a lot for the local artists. So right now, we would like to introduce you a very, very important 4 of our local artists here to show us their work. So shall we welcome Ms. Rashda Lin, Daniel Liu, Andy from Andy Moo Studios, and Xue Mei from Smash Gear. Right, here they are. Rashda, I love your hair color. It wakes me up. Right, so there's 2 mics, so please share. Okay, so may I have, from the Rashda, maybe you can introduce shortly about yourself each. Okay, sorry, it's not on. It's on now.
Test? Oh, okay. It's quite loud. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Rashda Lin, and art has always been my passion since I was very young, stemming from my love for comics, games, and toys. So I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Okay, thank you, Rashda.
Hi everyone, I'm Daniel, and I'm a local toy sculptor.
Thank you.
Hello, sorry. My name is Andy from Andy Moo Studios. I'm mainly doing comics. Yeah.
Okay, so I raise the mic all for myself. I'm Xue Mei from Smash Gear. I do t-shirts, gaming t-shirts. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, we have the local artists, local talents from all of this industry. And now I'd like to ask you some questions. So maybe ladies first. Okay. So Rashda, is this your first time at STGCC?
Okay, it's definitely not my first time. But although in the past I always attend as a visitor. Because I love comics and stuff like this. Just the past year that I attend, just roughly around I quit my job and pursue my career as an artist full time. I was invited to be a part of SNCF booth to help promote their comic concept and everything. So I was there at the booth helping them out. Just this year though, it's like my first time to be exhibiting like my work. and in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of you have been to STGCC, like as a guest or as a fan? Okay, no wonder. So is this your first time for all to participate or as an exhibitor?
This is actually my third year as an exhibitor, but I've pretty much been to every STGCC since it was started, I think. Yeah.
How about Andy?
For me, technically, it's not the first time, but this is the first time I'm exhibiting under my own company.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So Sherman, since you guys, decided to exhibit this year as well, what made you participate this year?
Oh, that's simple. STGCC has always been very supportive of local artists, and we've gotten a lot of help from STGCC since the first time we exhibited in 2013. So it's a no-brainer that we're going to exhibit this year as well. So that's that.
All right, sure. So now I know you guys have talents. Do you have any of you have your work today to show to everyone? Okay, guys, you're lady first. Huh?
Me first again, okay, no worries. Okay, I actually have more, but this what I have on my hand right now is, how to say, it's actually my illustration of a comic cover. It's done in those brush stroke ink style. I actually have more of my works at the back over there, so you can take a look later.
So everyone can take a look at the back. And
I have no works here, but my pieces are all behind on display as well, so you guys can check it out later.
so I can see Andy has something.
So for me, I did this just this year for the One Piece and Adventures crossover, and I make them into like a trading card series. And for me, because I'm a Singaporean, so I really like to play around with all things Singapore. So this is a taxi transformer that I did. Sorry, it's a little small, as well as Pikachu with all the Hokkien Singlish puns. They have a big karang-guni as well. So for me, I really like to take Singaporean stuff and try and make it interesting. Alright, and I'm also working on my own IP as well. So this is one of the characters from my next comic, Exam Monster. Yep.
Oh my god, I want that Pikachu sticker. I'm gonna get that.
Okay, I love this kind of question because normally when you come up, I just point to my chest. Right? Because I make t-shirts, of course I'm wearing my own. So you can see a bunch of other t-shirts that we have for STGCC especially at the back over there later on. But other than that, that's all.
Alright, so okay, since you guys are already in this industry and I'm sure it was your dream to be drawing or designing or anyhow. So I'm sure there's a lot of young kids, young students, they are willing to be in this industry as a pro. So as you've come across already, do you have any advice or anything you want to say to encourage these young people?
Okay, I'll say I think there's many things I can say, but I feel that the most important thing is the willpower. The person needs to have the willpower to make it happen. There could be a lot of support from everywhere, like government, everything, but nothing would happen if you don't have the courage to make the first step. So I just want to let like younger would-be artists know that just do it, basically. That's the message.
So the passion is very key, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else want to talk? Daniel?
Yeah, I agree that passion is definitely a key. But I think the landscape has changed a lot over the last few years. If you look at what it takes to run a small business nowadays, and as independent artists and creatives, we're basically running our own business. A lot has changed, and it's a lot easier now than it was even just a few years ago. So I think as artists, we need to have like the mindset of an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day, you're ultimately running your own business. You're cultivating your brand, you're trying to establish yourself. So yeah, you have to have a balance of everything.
I think that's very important, As a fan, you just like it and you draw it and you like it, that's all. But as a pro, as an entrepreneur, you have to have some responsibility and you need to know what the market needs, right? So I think that's, what young people might didn't know. So I'm sure this is very informative. So maybe for Andy and Sherman, maybe I'll ask something different. So as I was talking about this young talent, and in Singapore, recently it's been more easier for this creative industry to grow. But as I grew up in Singapore as well, I know it's very difficult that people think financial works and working in bank is the best. But what do you think about that? Like, as you were also a kid in your teenage days, I'm sure you had these difficulties.
We just had the exact same conversation just now because myself and Streaming, we are actually schoolmates back in Anderson Junior College, Visual Club. So back then, both of us would never imagine that we'll be sitting right here right now and having art as a career. I mean, it's totally out of the question. So, I mean, right now I feel that we have to demystify this whole artist thing. A lot of people would think that you need to have talent, you need to be able to starve, and I remember I had these same questions a few years ago at the STGCC panel, and I gave this example. I was doing caricature at Wisma Atria, and there's this rich-looking lady, and I was drawing a caricature of her, and she asked me, "So where do you study?" I said, "NUS, major in economics." So she said, economics, your parents must be so sad that you became an artist, right? What a pity.
No.
And I was like, I think my parents are quite okay with my job right now, and I make her nose a lot bigger in the caricature. So at the end of the day, right, I think it's very important for artists in the industry, right, that have some industry experience to share our experience with the younger artists. Because a lot of times, right, they are not well informed enough to know what is actually happening and what it takes to get there. So, and also I feel that we need a few Joseph schooling of our art industry to really help inspire, more young artists. For me, I'm conducting art lesson over at Escape as well. So a lot of the students actually came in without any confidence. Alright, they feel that they can't draw. But within 1 or 2 years, they're actually landing positions in Nanyang Poly animation courses, Singapore Poly. And 2 years ago, they are rejected from that course. So I'm saying that if you really have a passion for it, just go for it. And I don't treat the word passion very loosely. It doesn't mean that I want to do something easy that I like. It's not going to be easy, all right? So when people ask me how much do I like drawing or how often do I draw, my answer is I don't count the hours that I draw. I count the hours that I don't draw. The rest will be drawing, right? Because now I'm conducting a media preview and I'm eating, I'm sleeping, the rest will be drawing. So if you have that kind of passion, right, then maybe this is the right job for you. Yep.
I understand that. I can really feel your passion, and I'm sure Xiaoming has something to say as well. So,
Yeah. Okay. So I think with this new age that we are currently in, we have actually new challenges that are different from the challenges of old. I mean, the older artists, they have a set kind of role that that if you have this, and this, you are considered successful. But today, it's not so straightforward. So I think more the younger artists of today, they probably have to be more aware that they have to be a lot more fluid in how they think about their art, how they think about monetizing their art. Because whether you like it or not, it is a business. And if you want to take it beyond a hobby and start thinking about how things like Patreon works, how things like PayPal, how things like e-commerce shop, how things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, everything that you can in your power to spread your works out there and get more fans to do that. I think it's something that a lot of artists don't realize, younger ones, they don't realize how much effort it takes not only to make the art, but to let people know that you're making art and get to the people that will like and will pay for your stuff.
Thank you, Sherman. So that is all for the question Q&A for the local talent features. So let's give a big round of applause to Rashida, Daniel, Andy, and Sherman once again. Thank you very much. And you're going to see the work at the back. So, and Rashida will be showcasing later. So thank you very much. Can you make this way to the seat? Right, thank you very much. Don't forget your comic. Alright, that was a very, very good, segment. I feel that a lot of young people will be inspired and they had a lot of information from this. And now the moment we all have been waiting for. So since we have all the great artists from East and the West, today we have invited 4 very special guests to grace this media preview and tell us more about their work and this industry in general. So let's welcome Nick Spencer, Eva Rios, Wei Lin and John Paul Kaiser. Please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, all the way to Singapore. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so once again, welcome Emma, welcome Nick, and WK. Alright, how do you feel in Singapore right now? Is it very hot for you? Okay. There's only human.
It does, and I'm very happy to be here. So that doesn't matter.
How about gentlemen? Is it very hot?
I came from Los Angeles, so it's pretty hot there too. So
Alright, that's good. Yeah, actually, there has been, we've been considering that recently there was rain. It was raining a lot, and there was something called haze. That's the only natural disaster. So, but today we have good weather. It's not too hot. It's not raining. It's just nice. I think the weather, is just for you guys. Alright, so today I will be asking questions to this very full special guest. So shall I start off? Okay. So this panel discussion today, I come up with a topic. This is very serious. The role of pop culture in society. Okay, it sounds quite difficult, but I'm sure there's a lot to say from for you, which you are very professional in this industry. So with the recent release of comic book adapted movie blockbusters, such as Batman vs Superman and Captain America, Civil War, and recently Suicide Squad, I'm sure everyone has watched it. So in the past year, I'm sure this creative industry like comics, anime, games, it was quite a niche hobby for the people, generally. But nowadays, people really love it. Even adults, they collect all the toys and all the comics, and they're going crazy, and everyone's going massively crazy. So this is something happening for the superhero phenomenon. So why do you think this pop culture of this creative industry is becoming this big, and people are starting to get this in society? Maybe I start at Emma.
Well, I think, in my case, I have to admit that I love cinema and all that, so I'm pretty much into. When we started to have this news about having movies of superheroes, having read in my childhood, a lot of superhero comics was like it felt like a dream come true. Like, oh, I'm going to see all these people flying around, like for real. So it was pretty amazing. At this point, I have to admit that even if there are a lot of movies that I like, probably my favorite is Winter Soldier. But even if there are a lot of things that I like from those movies, I'm a bit tired because there are starting to be so many of them, But yeah, I think it is fun, and I think that part of the reason of this success is that people just need a bit to have fun or to relax, and with this kind of stuff is it makes you not thinking too much about stuff, so you can just enjoy it, and it's fun. And I think I have to admit that even if I like movies, my thing is comics. So from a professional point of view, I really appreciate that this helps a bit, the market to get a bit better, and it's making more people read comics, which is what I love the most. It's my medium, so yeah, that's what I do.
Thanks, Emma. That's very dramatic. How about maybe Nick?
yeah, I think what Emma was saying is what's great for us making comics is this has brought a lot more people in because they've been exposed through the movies. Now they're invested and interested in the characters. So they want to find out more about them, so they read the comics, and then they start wondering about other comics, and that leads them to create our own work that we do. So anything that helps make people aware of what we're doing, and I think it's hard to gauge just how much of an impact the movies have had, but I know at every show that I do, you see people come up and they want to talk about them, and I feel like it's a big part of what's gotten a lot more of the audience in. So it's a great thing to see.
All right, so this pop culture, we call it pop culture. All this, something happens from comic, becomes anime, and becomes a movie, and it becomes a game. And as a only toy maker here at UBK, can I ask you, what is this? What do you think the pop culture? Why do you think the pop culture is important in the society nowadays?
I think it's important because it allows us, I think in everybody there's a kind of a geek or a nerdiness that you kind of keep hidden when you're a child or a youth, and it's allowing that to be more mainstream, it's more acceptable. So you can express who you are, you can share your ideas with people.
I agree with that. So, for maybe since you're the only Asian artist here, and I heard you're from Malaysia, and I know Singapore and Malaysia is quite, we're quite similar. Some adults, they are still materialistic. They, don't really appreciate the pop culture. They don't know how to appreciate this. What do you think about the Asian culture for the pop culture?
Serious question. We were once the same country.
Yes, I know, right?
I feel that it is. I feel that recently anyway, I guess with the internet and trends becoming more kind of easily globalized, it's easier to find out what everyone is into and figure out for yourself whether you like it or not. And people do follow trends, right? People do decide that everyone's into this, I should check it out. And if it's something that is kind of cool and fun and exciting, then yeah, you tend to like it as well. So I think the pop culture becoming more mainstream is kind of also a result of pushing things on a more global level.
Yeah, I feel that internet, it was one of the very important role to massively grow this industry. Alright, so let's go for something not so serious. Okay, so since you guys are a pro and everyone's inspired by your work, okay, maybe Emma, can I ask you, who was the artist that inspired you, to become professional as a comic writer?
I think the first person who made me think about wanting to draw forever was like Katsuhiro Otomo. When I read Akira when I was 14 years old. So for me, it was like the perfect age. I really wanted to burn everything, Like after reading that, I really wanted to rebel and to, and I remember watching the movie and watching the how to do the movie, right? And I remember like looking at those people there, like working on the cells, like for making, the frames. And I thought that this is fascinating. I think I would love to do that for the rest of my life. And then reading the manga, the experience, I'm from Spain, so I grew up reading European comics mostly, superhero stuff. And then in the 90s, I started reading manga. It was when the manga started to come into Europe and States. And when I remember Akira was my first manga, and I just literally devoured it. It's like, it was, for me, it made my head explode, literally. So I think it was like, Katsuhiro Otomo was the guy who inspired me, the person who inspired me.
Okay, I totally agree with that. I think the first time I watched Akira in the movie, I think I was like 8 years old. It was too shocking for me, but I couldn't stop looking at it. It was like a bomb in my brain. I was like, what is this? I can totally agree with you about it. I can see your works are like very soft and you have a lot of colors. Who were you inspired from?
As in like generally.
Your idol, your icon.
I think the very first artist that I remember like looking at his work and being blown away and wishing that, oh God, I wish I could do this too. Probably like Yoshitaka Amano. Like he did a lot of like character design work. You all know him. He did a lot of Final Fantasy work. And his work was very magical because it was not very realistic, but and it was very sketchy sometimes. But it was the mood that the atmosphere, the feeling that the pictures gave you, and I felt that that was something amazing.
Sure. How about Nick? Since you draw superheroes.
Yeah, mean, a lot. Brian Michael Bendis was a big inspiration for me. Keith Giffen, Peter David, Chris Claremont. You know, I grew up reading superhero comics, so you know, those guys were a big part of my reading experience in my life. So I still look at their stuff a lot and try to learn from it.
So, you know, I guess you guys are all very humble enough. You know, you still try to learn from the icon or someone who is that you respect. Right? So, if as a toy maker, do you have anyone or any brand that you were inspired or you still admire?
Well, early on, it was, sounds a bit pretentious, but I used to like Pablo Picasso and his style painting, which is totally different from what I do. But Guernica, particularly, black and white, monochromatic painting really inspired me. Later on, it was more comic book artists, Carlos Esquerra from 2000 AD, just great kind of stuff. Then with the toys, seeing artists like Puppetry, Jason Freeney, who will be here this weekend, seeing what they could do on a small scale, but also quite important, that really inspired me. Showed up like one person can do this.
John. So I've been asking the local talents just now. I'm sure there's a lot of local talents, local kids. They are dreaming to become a pro in every industry that you are in. So in Singapore, I mean, I think it's the same in the world. For young people, it's very hard to go into this creative industry because there's no textbook how to become a comic writer, how to become a toy maker. So I would like to ask you any comments to encourage these young people or any advice for them. What do you think is most important to become the pro artist?
Well, the most important for me and the thing that I want each time I ask a question similar to this, like advices or stuff like that, I think I always say that the most important thing is never forget to have fun with your work because, well, comics are a medium that demands a lot of time. It's very, very hard, a lot of patience, a lot of security in yourself. Even if I'm talking here in a different language of my own, I'm quite shy myself, and I grew used to this stuff in general. And I was afraid of the time. Each time I start with a new project, I'm afraid. Each time I have to talk in public like now, I'm afraid. Each time I have to go on a long trip, I'm afraid. But I do it. So this is, I think, and I do it because I love what I do and because I have fun with it. So even if things get bad or something, I still will have fun. So this is this is, I think, the most important thing. I think now, thanks to internet, for example, in my case, in Spain, there's not such a developed industry there. I wouldn't have been able to live from comics there. So, but now with internet and everything, it's very easy to reach other editors, to reach other people. So I think it can be done. And that you can do it easily than before. So yeah, just if you want to do comics, just do it. And if you are afraid, just think that it's not your life or anything, that it's just comic, and that you are going to have fun with this stuff. That's all.
Thank you, Emma. Maybe Nick.
Well, the best practical advice I can give to anybody that wants to be writing is to make sure that you finish what you start. I think the biggest difference between aspiring writers or whatever you want to call it and people who do it for a living is that people who do it for a living figured out that they need to get to the ending of everything they start, and that's the only way that you improve. I think that the key to learning how to write is really learning how to live in somebody else's skin. Try to make your characters living, breathing people, and try to find what's real in them and focus on that.
Okay, so we will release again, Wendy. Maybe I twist the question, since ladies, I'm not sure about how women have some disadvantages. Because maybe you have in every industry, women sometimes have difficulties more than men. So do you feel that in this industry, or do you have any? Okay, please give any comments, to the young people, especially girls who are dreaming to be in this industry? Give them some advice, maybe?
I think to repeat something that you said, right? There is no textbook on how to get paid for drawing comics or get paid for drawing in general. I think we have the internet now, which makes it a lot easier to draw and put your work up there and kind of like help yourself figure out what you want to draw and how to get better and stuff as well. I guess the hard part is how do you know who to approach to get hired, right? So I'm not a great expert on that. I was very lucky to have met through like workshops and stuff and cons. I met people. I met my best friend. Right, and I mean from that if you do good work and as you do work for people and you get it done on time, you do it well, they'll ask you to do it again. Right? It's just that initial step of how do you get work. It's very difficult to answer because it's difficult for everyone. Sometimes you just get lucky. People see your work on a website, they see it in a book that you've done, and they email you and say, I really like this, could you do it for me?
Yeah, I'm sure like every industry of trust and friendship, relationship is very important, not just your skills, right? So talking about luck, you said we need to be lucky to become professional, not only your skills. So how do you think about this, DBK?
I don't believe in luck. I believe in opportunities. You make your own luck. If you work hard, if you keep trying, keep practicing, keep putting your work out there, people will see it. And the more you work, the more you improve. The more work you do, the more ideas you get. The more ideas you have, the more you explore those, the better your ideas become. There is no luck, it's the only opportunity you make for yourself. You're responsible for your work, you're responsible for your success.
Thanks, JBK. So, thank you. Do you want to add something to it?
Yeah. What you said is exactly it, right? Because the thing is that the odds of success are, I guess, sometimes feel very low, like it's 1%, but if you don't try at all, it's 0%, right? So,
All right, thank you very much. I'm sure, we all got the inspiration from you all, and I'm sure, the writing on the internet or on paper is going to inspire a lot of fans and people. So thank you very much. This was a very, very great panel discussion. Please give them a big round of applause, everyone. All right, so now the panel discussion is over, but since it became quite serious, I want something to break the ice for this very special guest. So since, some of you are in Singapore for the first time, I guess, and, since we are here to have some local things to provide them to try out. And what is the best? It's the food, right? So we prepared some food, a local food for them to try out. I hope they like it. Okay, this is quite really local. Okay, today we have prepared a chicken rice for Emma. There's going to be domoy. And there's egg tart and bobo cha-cha. Is it hot or cold? I think it's cold. And the moon cake, since we have this Chinese moon festival is coming. And last but not least, there's the salted yolk croissant. Okay. Did everyone try it? Salted yolk is very, very popular in Singapore right now. It's a big, big trend. Something everyone's crazy about. So everyone try it. So may we have everyone have your fork. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. There's nothing that is scary, it doesn't move. Okay, maybe, you can take your fork.
There's some spicy drink or something.
No. Actually, we didn't reveal what we're going to provide. And so at the backstage, they were quite scared, like, what are we going to try? What are we going to, be eating? So Winnie, I'm sure she's from Malaysia, she knows all these food, right? Yeah. So don't give them a clue what they Okay, so the moon cake. Emma tried the moon cake. Is this the first time eating this?
I like it a lot. I expected it to be more sweet, but it has a little salty.
Yes, actually moon cake is it's salty and sweet at the same time, but it has a deadly high calories, so please don't eat everything. Okay, yeah. Okay, so everyone went for something safe, something big. I don't know. We're gonna try bobo cha-cha. Okay. They are now trying. Okay, Nick is trying chicken rice. It's a very simple simple dish. Actually, it's with rice and chicken. How do you like it?
Chicken rice that won the Michelin star.
I'm not sure where's the sauce got it. Okay, how about CBC? Got your mic with you? Mic. You had, wow, you almost finished one piece of mooncake.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, I'm very happy. Oh, you can live here? Emma said she can live here. Great! Isn't it fantastic? Wow, okay. You wouldn't mind? I'm very proud. You know, I'm like half Singaporean, literally. I grew up here. So did everyone try bobo cha cha? Oh, that's a salted egg yolk. It's nice, right? Nice. Everyone loves it. Everyone's crazy about it. Right? So I'm very happy that no one, you know, went like, they really liked it. I can tell they liked it, and I can tell Jimmy really loved the bakeries, the pastries. How's the egg tart? How's the egg tart? Uh-oh. Wait, isn't it? It's a normal one, right? It's a normal.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's very
Okay,
nice.
good. It can be,
Sorry, you caught me off guard. I was completely zoned in.
Alright, that means it's very good. Okay, so I'm very honored. They love the Singaporean food, and I hope you will have more chances to try out in these few days while you're in Singapore. So thank you very much, and thank you for giving your courage to try out something you never tried. Thank you very much.